against a Pangolier who needs a Blink Dagger to really be able to try and chain lock you down. And outside of that, it requires alone the stand-in to just play absolutely exceptional. And we know that there aren't many better mid laners than Somnus, so good luck with that.
Yeah, like, Ember's a good lane matchup, and sure, the game can be relatively nice with the chains, but this is not that big counter.
Where's the follow-up is what you're asking.
Yes, sure, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, yes, I'm learning he can kind of is a nice matchup, but against Somnus, this is not enough. Like, this is one of the best mid laners we haven't really seen. Of course, China and Somnus on the main stage and on a lane for quite some time, but yeah, this was a mid laner that everyone would fear going up against, and even into a matchup like this, I'm quite concerned on how they're going to be able to deal with him in this game.
One thing I'm also a little bit intrigued about is how active is Ana going to get? Because that time, sure, it seemed like he was super active, but he spent a long time just sitting back and farming. And I think that's... I was talking about it before the game #1 draft. That's something that RNG and Asta in particular have leaned a little bit more strongly into. You know, going these things like the Spectre, the TA, these styles of heroes that just need to sit back a little bit more, and the rest of the four just take all of the attention away from them. I feel like teams like your Liquids, for example, but Tumberman, once he gets that Hood of Defiance and the Vanguard on the Bristle, he would start running at you already, because they just want to up the tempo, but RNG really protecting the playstyle of their Sandin, which I like.
Yeah, I do think if you look at some of the players on China, and Monet in particular, you always look at kind of his hard carry. Terrorblade really stands out for him. I know I've been quite impressed with China in general and how they've been able to adapt to kind of the meta we're in at the moment, where this really hard carry sort of hero is not as popular, but maybe they're still, you know, falling back on some of their comfort. I mean, we see that like Juggernaut, Ana's got a Midas queued up as well, which is something that's continuing to be very popular so far from the Jug through the major.
Heal us.
Unfortunately, he's not going up against something like this Enchantress. Would have been some extra value coming through there from the Midas, but Picard's once again in the lane going for his no regen build. Just wanting to say, well, I'm going to try and right-click stronger than you, and there's not too much you can do about it. Kaka feeling like he's not going to be able to outrun Pandamoon, I suppose, but really just wanting to create a double wave to be able to, again, push back into RNG's side, giving the Viper a bit of an easier time. I like that. It's something that they absolutely needed to do.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about kind of the build that we're seeing come out a little bit more often now from the carries, like this blades of attack or the robe into just a couple branches? Because it feels like the supports, from what I'm seeing, are bringing out like two sets of tangos, and you can just give a couple over to the, you know, the carry. You drop the branch down, all of a sudden you're getting double worth out of it. So do you feel like that's kind of the reasoning? Let's hold that first.
Pandaboo's gonna die.
Yeah, this will be our first blood picked up. Chalice and Karka in combination together.
With the boys.
Great start for this Viper lane. Like, your weakness is like first 2 levels, basically, and you've been able to get past that. Kar's not in a position to be able to get aggressive onto you because of the way that Karka was able to manipulate the lane.
He's in a little bit of trouble. Sacred, though, swashbuckled in, so he's going to be forced to TP out. He will go back to the tower, so not all the way to the base.
He has to be careful here. Doesn't have enough to cast spells and TP out if he needs to, but he's going to try and bully X-Nova for now.
So what are your thoughts on kind of the heavy stat build and the branch?
Well, when the Tango sharing first came out, I was like, oh, are people just gonna not buy any regen? And they still did. Like, they still did for quite some time, not going this super aggressive route, I suppose, because they felt salves were a little bit more impactful. But maybe now that salve meta has been taken away, it's just something that they're catching on to. Like, hey, this is actually a genuine possibility. We can just accelerate our timing, even for as little as a minute differential. Can be the biggest difference in a game like this at a major between 2 great teams.
Yeah, I mean, a minute timing is incredibly important with all the levels that you get. We see often side lanes are really playing on the level 2 advantage, sometimes a level 3, which Viper in particular really needs 3. And Chalice, he just gets it, so this is a kill. Unless Picard's able to TP out, he's going to be dead. They'll get the Grave, And well, there's the TP out. So that's the thing though, just mentioning the level timings. Chalice, he gets aggressive as soon as he gets to level 3, just recognizing these small spikes that you have, but the best teams will always eke out that advantage.
He nearly ticked out in base as well. He had the 5 Viper stacks on him.
That's how it's
A
done.
little bit lucky that he wasn't level 5 at the time, otherwise he might have still died. But mid lane as well, they're actually looking to get a little bit more aggressive onto Somnus. Might be trying to go ahead and steal away the bounty rune inside of the Radiant jungle. A few of the voice lines there.
Oh no. Matthew's he's got boots. He's gonna keep running at Somnus. Matthew will win this. He's got Fade Bolt. Meanwhile, Dazzle's gonna go down off the side, but we'll keep going on to the duel. I don't know, Somnus. What's going
Let the
on?
world end now. It matters not to me.
Never suffering
I'm
lies
learning to give a
beyond
tip
my
as well.
grasp.
Matthew's loving life. Free money, solo experience. He doesn't even need the mid laner to help out.
And that's when you need to be voice lining him back, you know, like good glyph use as well to make sure that he's not losing too many of these creeps underneath the tower. Will still lose at least 1 million one range, not even worrying to deny it because no one's there to receive the experience. But yeah, great start to that mid lane now for Alone, who already has the advantageous matchup with the Ember against Spark. As well, just also taken away the no, he's not going to die again.
He might. 2 points.
A couple of seconds.
Another slide. This might actually be enough damage.
Like searing chains in 1.
And the chains at level 2. It's going to kick him out. No, I just wanted to bring that up. Alone, he's gone for no points Flame Guard, 2 points in the chains, and
Yep.
wow. I mean, the young gun, the stand-in on Alone, only 17 years of age, is taking it up to Somnus.
That's something that you want to put on your resume there. He might even get another kill with Xnova trying to at least achieve some of this experience in the lane, but he's not going to be able to do it.
Radiant's middle
8
tower
mid lane
is under
so
attack.
far going away for the side of Thunder Awaken. How are some of these other lanes going though? Because it's going to be quite some time as Somnus takes that walk of shame back down from the base. Pakaz has been able to pick up the power tread, so he's at least got a little bit of that movement speed for himself. Very important just at positioning against a Viper whenever you're up against him. So evened out the experience trade there.
Can get in range of the
very
cars?
deep.
Gonna TP Matthew in. They might turn to Chalice instead. They've lost the poison touch from Panda Move, but Chalice is in trouble.
micro.
Beautiful body blocks. Matthew's on a killing spree. This Rubik's everywhere to start the game.
And it's not really what we were expecting to happen, right? Like, sure, the Pangalier's at the bottom of the net worth for the cause, but he should be punished much more than this in the lane. Like, he's still free farming a wave now. He's still getting a good amount of experience. In lane, they're going for a little bit of a dive onto Alone. Yeah, I really feel like that Matthew shouldn't have the freedom to just rotate through like this. Like, his past 3 kill involvements have been so massive for Thunder Awaken.
They're gonna get another kill. Matthew gets a kill. He needs to drag back. Alain's able to connect. My oh my, Thunder Awaken, what a start. Make sure he doesn't get denied.
Under attack.
They will do just that. Beautifully done from Thunder Awaken. I was not expecting them to have good of a start as what they are, but top lane, Somnus, he's looking to hit back. He's got the haste rune in the arsenal, the coil as well. And there should be a freebie picked up. A much needed kill for the side of RNG, and Somnus is going to snag that. What a
Yeah,
Chalice. See, Matthew, dude, this guy's everywhere. He's trying to converge on the Viper's location to get that telekinesis back, but Kaka, beautiful TP, and will offer the assistance required to keep Chalice alive.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not so often you see the Vipers go this style of build. No Dragon Lance, just go straight into the 4-star.
The secret shop's going to be in some trouble. Alone with the level 7. Chalice has got his own ultimate as well to work with. Viper Strike targeting down the Rubik, but meanwhile Alone is able to render on forward, secures the kill. They'll turn to the Viper next as well. It comes at a cost of the Dazzle's life. And they're also going to know Chalice. Oh no.
He got too hungry.
Radiant's middle tower is
He
under
ticked down to the corrosive skin. It was literally like 2 damage, I think, was the amount that it did over what he would have did. Like, I don't know. He's just feeling himself a little bit too much there, man. And yeah, like you said, giving over that big streak is a significant deal, considering this is a Viper that needs to get a few of these items to be much more survivable with his positioning.
They're ready to go again. Lone's got a double damage rune as well to work with, but I guess they got to deal with the Seder creep first before he pops that for the kill.
Come
They
on,
might have to
Sprite.
continue
Dire's
to move
middle
on
tower
forward.
is under attack.
Saving a lot of gold for himself as well, going into that
Radiant
Maelstrom,
are
just wanting
scanning.
to perhaps play that split pushing style once more. Sacred up top again. Somnus really putting a lot of emphasis onto taking him down.
Dire are scanning.
He'll be fine. But Somnus did TP here, so they're gonna want to make something happen with this rotation. Sacred.
Is he gonna go for the damage it's enough. Sacred, beautiful read. The calculations. He's at it enough, but Somnus is gonna try and turn this around. Is the damage gonna be enough between him and the Enchantress? He's getting no extra assistance. We're gonna make sure the chain control is perfect with the silence afterwards, so the shield crash will not be an option to get that damage mitigation out.
I mean, you're still very happy with that though, right? Solo kill onto the Juggernaut.
He's gonna TP directly onto the tower, especially with Alone connecting. Yeah, they've got to be cautious though. RNG, they're starting to bring the numbers to hit back. Alone, there's no way he's going to be able to make it out of this one. A big kill onto the Ember. They're going to look for a +1. Kaka using the tree to gain some information. Going to get in range
Toss
for the
back into
toss
the
back
Omni.
though.
Radiant's
He
top
doesn't
tower
have
is under attack.
a move and speed advantage, so
Radiant
Matthew will be
structures
fine.
are
Top lane though. Just get on the town.
A lot of damage being done by X-Nova up here, though, with that Vulcan Rippler providing the additional
Radiant's
armor,
top tower
also
has
pushing him
fallen.
back, making sure that he's not going to get to
Dire's
deny.
middle tower
Cheeky little
is
play.
under attack.
What do you feel like is going to break out over the next coming minutes with Bakaz being a top of the net worth because the Furin can get very active. Ember's had a great lane, or really a majority of Thunder have as well. So do we feel like Thunder are going to be able to just they're going to look to keep the tempo? Because next Nova should go down. That's going to be the case.
I think they're going to be focusing on Sacred, just making sure that he's able to get that Blink Dagger, because
Radiant's
like I was saying
bottom
before,
tower is under
this
attack.
is I don't want to say, again, an easy puck game, but you don't have a ton of counters, so it's so important for him to get that Blink Dagger so
Radiant
puck doesn't just
structures
feel
are
free to
fortified.
have complete reign over every single team fight.
You see that.
Dire's middle
The
tower
Pengo is
under
going to be
attack.
someone that will scale much better than what the Viper is. This is a hero that really thrives on winning your lane. I'm a bit concerned on
Radiant's
Chalice and
bottom
where we're going to
tower
see
is
the
under
impact
attack.
come out of the off laner for RNG compared to Sacred. They
Dire's
are
middle tower
setting
is
up
under
onto
attack.
Sacred. Eyes on mid lane though, is Chalice. Look her down because
Radiant's
some very
bottom
deep
tower is
TPs,
under
not going to
attack.
tick out to the damage over time. Somna's going to look to enter the fight. The orb will be on the mark. He's going to jaunt on forward to secure the kill. Can he outrun the Rolling Thunder though? No one else is following up on Sacred, and Somnus will be okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, all while this is
Radiant's
happening as well,
bottom
Kaka's
tower
doing a
is
pretty
under
decent
attack.
time farming too. 11.5 minutes, only 1,000 gold away from that Blink Dagger. Fighting the backlines, although
Oh, they're looking at the damage from the shield crash. Somnus holds them back with the coil. The respawns are starting to come out. Thunder need to respect RNG from being able to TP
Radiant's
back in
bottom tower is under
alone.
attack.
Oh my lord.
he actually popped the Fairy Fire back in base as well, just so he didn't die.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Very
fallen.
nice. So just tiny little plays that a boomer like me would absolutely never make, but you know, these guys do. 17 years old, they've still got those twitchy fingers.
Oh, maybe you could just be a pro player as well.
Dire's top
And
tower
you're not.
is under attack.
Why you gotta bring age into this? Come on, you can do stuff at your age. You just, really what it is you
Scrapbooking, bingo.
well, I mean, we're not there yet. You're not a goddamn grandpa. We're not but plus 70 years old.
Dire's top tower
I will
is
say
under
though,
attack.
bingo sounds kind of fun when you gotta I don't know, just think of that. You guys are roots and run. You're old, you got a couple mates. Just chilling, maybe a couple bevies in there. Hold that thought. Oh, this is not looking good for RNG. Nova.
Dire's
Maybe
top
it's looking
tower
fine.
is under
Alright,
attack.
it's looking fine. It's chilling.
Dire's top tower has
Can
fallen.
you imagine what like old folks' homes are going to look like when you know this age of people? It's just going to be a bunch of gamers. Honestly,
Radiant's
LAN
middle
parties
tower is under
24/7.
attack.
Oh god. RNG. Oh god, Panda move. Not really the target we want. But it can be forced to take it though. We're in a position to attack insane.
Look at that blink tag.
What a blink reveal! Moves in with the rolling thunder. They're gonna look to chain control some of the sets. It's not the greatest position to get the guards back. And Matthew, he's in trouble as well. As RNG, I'll fight two, even off the great start from Sacred, but that was not enough damage to be able to follow up with the rolling thunder.
Dire's top tower
The Omni
is
Slash
under
available
attack.
here on Ana. Just needs to pop the magic stick if he wants to use it, but it's another one of these team fights where Micro is really good. Able to keep that healing ward alive for the entire time. Make sure that his entire team's able to survive past that initial burst.
I think we've got to be looking at now how the carry matchup fares between the Nature's Prophet and the Juggernaut. So we've got Bakaz, top of the net worth, having an incredible game on the Nature's Prophet, 3-1 and 4, but Ana as well with this minus, and Maelstrom soon completed. We'll be able to keep up in farm.
Obviously, the Maelstrom is like the build these days instead of the Battle Fury, but against the Nature's Prophet, is this one of those times where you actually were wanting to go for it? I guess you've already got the 4-staff on the Viper, and someone else is going to look to build into it. Is X-Nova going into a Vanguard? I guess a Crimson eventually?
Okay.
Or an Abyssal. Abyssal
Oh,
Enchantress,
let's
that's what
go.
we want.
Just
The Pango is
Abyssal
kind of
Rush.
nice.
I mean, are we really trying to justify why Abyssal could be potential?
No, I'm talking about... I'm not talking that. I'm talking about the Crimson.
That should help.
Snowball? He's not going to mess around with the Rolling Thunder, just looking to get the kill onto the Enchantress. Not going to be easy. 2 points in the Nature's attendance. Decent amount to be able to sustain through the ultimate. Looks like we'll get the kill nonetheless with 4 cures on Thunder.
If he had that Abyssal.
Kaka's getting pretty close to a blink as well. I like how they're looking to prioritize the farm for the Tiny. Big waves go all to Mr. Kaka. He needs a little bit more gold to complete that. And do you feel like that's the item, and then maybe RNG could look to smoke up and make a play?
Oh yeah, completely. Like they don't really need anything else beyond this. Like it's just luxury items for now. You've got a Ogreax just given over to Chalice. Needs to make sure that he doesn't use too much of that mana though. He is an important part of the damage that's coming out in a lot of these RNG engagements.
Nature attend us.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Flavor's really racking up the damage, something that X-Nova wasn't ready for. That was also coil used as well, so they're not going to have this for the tower defense. I'd love to see Thunder look to make a play with the coil being on cooldown. Do that. Sacred jumps in. No hesitation for the pain clear. They've got to be cautious, so because RNG taking a fight inside their territory. Even Ana's going to look to show up as well. Matthew, brother, this is incredibly deep. The toss away from Sacred. He wants to follow the party as well from the Rolling Thunder towards Ana's location. But a Blade Fury will give Ana an opportunity to reset the fight. But can anyone else on RNG make it away? Ana's still in trouble. He moves back in, and they're going to pounce on that opportunity as Thunder Awaken finds the big kill into the Juggernaut. Kaka, though, looking for the combination with Somnus nearby, but because he's working with a BKB. So all this magic community, that's going to be enough to get the TP out. They might get Pandamu instead, but really not the ideal target.
Yeah, they're just running a little bit too low on mana for anyone to help out Pandamu at this stage, although Chalice, he's having to run away from the treants at this stage. I mean, that was just, again,
Dire's
some
top
insane
tower
spell
is
casting
under
coming
attack.
through from Thunder Awaken. Starting off by alone, just dodging out that Viper Strike with the use of the Remnant, and it really felt like he had free range of
Radiant
Pokemon body.
structures are fortified.
They saw the coil, Somnus, he needs to respect this. He's going to go in instead. Matthew! Oh, the spell casting from Ruby Rubik is beautiful. Matthew finds two. They won't get X Nova. But what a play coming out from the Rubik. He's done it all for them this game.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
Matthew
tower is under
MVP by
attack.
far. Getting a little bit overly excited sometimes with the dives behind the tier 1 tower, but he's made a lot of stuff happen. I want to see that again if we can. Just always seems to be in the right position at the right time. Dream coil, steal it back, get it onto a couple, and then be
Dire's
able to
middle
turn
tower
around with that
is under
burst damage
attack.
coming through. It's just way too much.
Yeah, we were mentioning that, the Ember and the Pango can be decent ways to be able to deal with the Puck, but the Rubik as well, there's some incredible abilities to steal. Pretty much all of Puck's abilities are nice. The Orb can help you push side lanes to maybe get your next item, whether it's Aethelins or Blink, but the Waning Rift is incredibly nice as well to be able to offer up some control. So if Matthew's able to continue with the trend he's on at the moment, he's got a decent amount of farm to play with, and really just Aethelins and Keen Optic could be enough.
Feels like they really want to go for a smoke now, though, on RNG. Like, the last fight obviously didn't turn out too well for them, but now you've got the Blink Dagger on Somnus, so he wants to be able to converge along with Tiny's
Radiant's
Blink
middle
Dagger
tower
to
is
really
under
start
attack.
to make a lot of this magic happen, create space for that Juggernaut so that the Midas starts to pay off. Maybe even trying to bait some people to move towards this mid lane. It so happens to be at a time where Thunder Awaken we're going for a smoke, but they don't want to waste these TPs, so they're going to use the extra movement speed to, again, just come back towards mid, but it's going to be a little too late unless they get the deny. Okay. Still, though, important tower to take away.
Yes, very much. We see Karka in the river shortly. Oh, he gets... Oh, the Blink's going to go closer to the Ember Spirit, so... Launch it for Karka, there's going to be no escape. So an easy kill, but what can they get out of that? They're gonna probably look to try and invade the jungle now, take away some of the farm that RNG are playing with.
No, just keep it shoving, hasn't
Wait,
it?
wait, Matthew's still got coil. To Somnus, he's in trouble for the moment. They're gonna do an incredible job with the chain control as Matthew stole the Waning Rift as well as Sacred. He's already looking for the +1. Spies out X Nova onto the high gun. It's got the Aghanim Shard completed as well, so it can bounce back with ease. A TP out. X Nova will just make it.
Just able to escape. Ended up going for the Hood of Defiance instead of the old Vanguard or the Enchantress. That makes a little bit more sense to me. It really does feel like that's where the good portion of the damage is coming from at this stage, especially with all the spells that Matthew's been able to steal. Like you said, that Waning Rift. With the Arcade Supremacy, and you've got the Aether Lens, the Keen Optic, cast range of that is actually kind of nutty.
Now, do we feel like RNG are going to have some difficulties with dealing the supports this game? Because it does feel like so far with how they've been positioning and the items they have, it could make it a little bit easier to be able to play towards
Radiant
the backline and
structures
keep
are
their
fortified.
lives. Lane? They're in trouble for Kars TP's in. Remnants from Alone. Emo as well in the river. They're going to run into Panda for the moment. The Grave will buy him sometimes. They're going to turn to deal with the Tiny instead, but Arna showed up to the party. He's going to be cautious with this blade through though. If the rest of Radiant feel like they want to take the fight, they know the ultimate. There's potential to get out. The Omnislash bouncing around and inside Roshan. They've got the ultimate as well from Saken and that chain control. It's perfect from Thunder Awaken. They'll get the kill onto Arna. They're going to move over to X Nova as well. The Enchantress should not be long for this world. A chains into one more right click is because is rewarded with the kill.
That courier dying though from Somnus, that's a pretty big deal. That would have been getting closer towards the AC for him, just a lot more damage to be able to speed up the farm. Speaking of Hyperstones that ended up going down, actually never mind that. I thought Juggernaut was getting closer towards finishing up that Mjolnir, but instead he's going into the Basher, feeling like they need a little bit of extra control just to deal with Sacred's Pangolier. Somnus was able to get that kill onto the Pango in the team fight, taking away the dominating streak, getting himself a nice injection of gold and equaling, actually, I was about to say equaling the highest level in the game, but Kars is sitting very comfortably, almost at that level 20, and well, you know what that means. That means that that leash is going to start to become a factor, particularly against the Puck.
Karka is stalking alone top with the invis. I'm just going to be able to reposition back further into their territory, so Karka actually runs up this high ground. Freshly placed sentry.
Radiant are scanning.
Such an even game as well, though. 25 to 17 in regards to the kill count. Only 1,000 net worth lead for Thunder Awaken. It's like both sides are in a position to look to take this fight. Chalice just completed the BKB. You're about to have an Assault Cuirass completed though for Pakaz, just waiting for the Courier to respawn. So we are looking at some item timings to be picked up really shortly between both these teams.
I mean, you've got a lot now in RNG. BKB on the Viper, so he can actually take these fights. You've got, like you were saying before, the Force Staff on the Enchantress. You've got the full Basher on Ana, also Omni Slash level 3.
Dire's bottom
So,
tower
yeah,
is
it's a
under
lot to
attack.
have to contend with, but Ana can't join this fight that's about to break out. So it feels to me like RNG just want to quickly steal some of this triangle farm and get the hell out of there. The advantage, of course, of playing with a Nature's Prophet. You've always got that potential. Sacred the river. Going in.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Stop
attack.
Chalice, he's not going to have that defensively now. He might be forced to pop a BKB. X-Nova's been able to heal up a decent amount as well. Nemo, look at Solus wrapping around. They stole the coil on Matthew, so they have to be cautious of their positioning now from RNG. And yeah, there's that respect coming out to the top. Because he finds a freebie. Kaka just sticking around for a little bit too long. That was the level 20 in the Sprout as well, so there was going to be no escape for the Titan.
Just bouncing around the map right now. The impact that this guy is having is so huge. Already got a 4,000 network advantage. He also has, I believe, the AC finished up. Just needs to wait for the Courier to respawn. Taking Roshan, of course, with all that minus armor that you have and the huge damage. It is a lot that RNG have to deal with.
What are we
Nice, son.
expecting?
Sorry, go ahead.
What are we expecting Thunder to be able to get out of this first stages?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, my thing is, like, do they really need much else? I mean, you finished up a lot of key items. Maybe just wanting something like the Basher for Sacred, just so that he's not able to get, you know, spin TPs in the middle of fights. Just that extra little bit of control that we felt that they were lacking in the form of stuns for the puck. If Matthew isn't perfect with his lockdown.
Moving to Somus's location. Break the call of the force up on the higher gun, and now X-Nova will ripped apart as well. Because with the double kill, and you said it best, it seems like he is everywhere in this second game.
What can you say? He's an absolute beast so far. Pakaz and Matthew, for sure, just standing out this game for Thunder. It's a really important series as well. You know, they don't have the greatest record so far in these group stages, so every single game is going to count.
Look at this instant smoke from Thunder, looking to connect to top. Nature's Prophet's going to be able to TP in as well. Ana's able to step to the left side. Pakaz is stalking him though. They've already used the Sprout, so Ana should be able to TP up, but maybe he doesn't know the Sprout's on cooldown. He's going to see it surely, but it will come back up. Sacred on the wraparound as well. The Rolling Thunder already utilized. The Force Staff thanks to Kaka. I don't think Ana's going to be able to make it away though, and they'll make sure that's not the case as Thunder instantly jumping to his location. Ana really struggling in this game. 4 deaths on the Juggernaut compared to only the
Dire's
one
bottom
on
tower is
Pakaz.
under attack.
And this is the thing with the Viper as well. You know, this is...
Man, they're everywhere. They have this lead. They're making sure just RNG can get nothing out of the map. From top they go, over to mid. Kaka is going to have to blink up shortly, so we'll just make it away, but we see how aggressive Thunder are looking to play with this Aegis.
And the thing is, like, Viper just doesn't do what Pango does, right? Like, he is so immobile. I would say one of the most immobile heroes now that
Radiant's
Gaben
bottom
decided
tower
that
is under
Zeus
attack.
needed a jump. But
Dire's middle
it is one of those
tower is
things that it's like, what can you do against this? All Chalice could basically do is sit and farm, and it means that RNG are playing one man down for most of the game
Radiant
unless you're
structures
pushing.
are
And
fortified.
with how effectively they've been able to
Radiant's
play around this
courier
Nature's
has been
Prophet,
killed.
lanes are always going to be pushing in. So you don't really have a safe
Dire's
place to be
middle
able to
tower
farm
is
and
under
push
attack.
towers.
With a bit of a
Dire's
sidestep
middle
there.
tower has
Gonna
fallen.
force on the high gun. It's cute juke from Kaka. And all TP back. He's trying to get on those cutting shenanigans, but get the tier 2 tower nonetheless. Back on your point about the Viper Pango as well, we just see like Viper's even got more net worth, but even with that extra little bit of gold that he's playing with, Sacred is just having so much more impact, and that impact is going to continue as well. This hero in team fights is difficult to deal with. He's going Basher next, so you're going to have another way to maybe control the puck, another way to deal with Jug through BKB, and now speaking about Sacred, this is the one issue with the Pain Cleaver. You don't offer that chain control potential for the moment, so Chalice able to get the BKB off. Kaka will hold back the cards as well, but they're going to run into him. Matthew stepping to the high ground. I think they got a glimpse of Ana. So it's going to be cautious. Go down to the south, and Thunder will not continue the chase.
Well worth that sacrifice though by Kaka. Like him using the stun at that exact point means they don't get off the sprout. Chalice isn't just fed to the wolves basically. He had to use a really early force.
Because was very close to TPing directly on the Juggernaut. Oh, look at this, just burying into the tree line. It does seem like RNG though, their read is just stall this out. Like, look to play the side lanes, don't take team fights just yet.
There's no one that makes amazing use out of it, but I'm going to call out one flaw from Bakaz. When he TP'd through to that fight, right to the left of the Dire outpost, there's a Paladin sword sitting at the top of the stairs next to the ward placed by Kaka. It's like just in a corner. It's really weird. So,
there's like a tree kind of covering it. Is that Dire's or Radiant's?
It is Bakaz's.
Okay.
Dire's bottom tower
I should pick up that goddamn Paladin sword. It's a pretty nice neutral item to be playing with. See, Ana though, going to be able to cut the wave. So, what do we feel like RNG are waiting for? Are they just looking to, I mean, Aegis is out in 30 seconds. Are they waiting for an item instead? Or they're happy maybe to look to smoke up as soon as that Aegis expires?
To me, it feels like maybe they even just want this this Aghanim Scepter on the Viper. He's very close to being able to pick it up just for the extra
Radiant's top tower is under
cast
attack.
range, in particular, on the Viper Strike.
Oh my lord.
Speaking of Aghanim Scepters, you've now got one up on Thunder Awaken, alone. Again, just continuing to snowball his great game, and now with that extra Sleight of Fist hero damage and all the minor summon that you've got from, again, the Dazzle, the Pangolier, Ember Spirit with his Orb of Corrosion. It's a lot to have to deal with in these team fights.
They've got some really good wards to play with here for RNG up top. They're going to run into the moon surely. Kaka's going to go for the Rubik instead. The toss closer to Ana's location. An easy kill, but Matthew's still the blade. The Grave's going to be used to protect the Rubik, and they turn and Jug scoring! Harder for the team fight. It went up the damage from the position one. How can RNG turn this fight back around? Somnus is in trouble. A waning Rip around Kaka, buying him some time. He'll just make it out. Meanwhile, on the river, though, Chalice, he's in trouble as well. Because along with Sacred, in combination together, will run into the Viper. And Thunder, all they lose is the Rubik, and they take so much out of RNG.
Satanic. Oh, just heals him completely to full Tiny. Probably going to be falling as well, but Kaka once again with his little jukes. Blink up in one. Oh, just gets clipped. I don't think it would have changed the fight around it much, but you still did have Viper just walking in there as Victoria was coming through onto him with that completed Aghanim Scepter. He really didn't want to use it before finishing it up because it would have meant longer cooldown for each successive cast, and maybe that extra 1 or 2 seconds means that he doesn't get off that Viper strike on one of these key targets. Let's say, you know, Nature's Prophet. It means that he finds it a much harder time to just stand there and man fight.
Now, I do think RNG being down is going to be difficult this at the moment. Bottom lane. Somnus is going to be in trouble. They stole the waning rift, so the extra control from the silence. They have the vision for that Wrath of Nature. Not going to get the tick. Run under the water as well, so they won't continue with this push. RNG will live to see another day.
They haven't had a team fight where Chalice is just free to stand there and attack. That's my biggest issue. And I'm not sure what's going to change it, to be honest. Like, it's going to involve Kaka finding a pickoff, perhaps, to be able to start off these team fights. Maybe it's a Blink Dagger coming through for Ana here, but it doesn't feel like he's getting massively kited around in these engagements. He doesn't have to deal with the silence. He's got the Blade Fury to deal with the Searing Chains. He's still holding onto that Quelling Blade because he's up against the Nature's Prophet. He's switched items like 4 different times. He's gone from...
He's in a position to pop the smoke. Kaka. Sacred for the moment. It's a really big pickup if they can get it. The toss closer towards Ana's location, but the damage It won't come through thanks to the Yule Scepter. And again, Pandamu gets the grave up, and look at Alone just jumping into the middle, trying to deal with the backline. Sacred's got the ball as well. The cause, his keeper's in as well. Dago both the cause, and RNG will not be long for this team fight. As now they're going to TP over to Chalice at the mouth of the pit. The Viper is just trying to edge up some kill, find anything they can get, but they won't even catch up the Dazzle, and it'll come at the cost. There's nothing they can do because he'll stand his ground in there, the Toxin. And meanwhile, at the outpost, he'll even catch out X-Nova. 0 casualties from the side of Thunder Awaken as they have full momentum in this second game.
Doesn't even need to carry the boots anymore either. Of course, the attack speed's kind of nice, and he's just going to go into the efficiency item first, getting that click in. AoE damage, but with that removed teleportation, he's just zipping around the map constantly. He made one of the shortest TPs I've ever seen, just to be able to get inside that Roche pit. Near flawless game.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
That Aegis onto the Nature's Prophet. Was that third verse or second? Second, I believe, right?
Second.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Dazzle might have taken the shot.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I do feel like Dire, their high ground play is going to be a coil into the toss. Thunder, you really, even with Bakaz having an Aegis, it's going to be very difficult for them to siege because of this potential. If you toss him under the tier 4 towers and get that coil snap, they will kill him there, and then he's going to be respawning in a position where it's very difficult.
Oh no, Somnus.
The last second, but can he get the reactions off the blink back inside the base? He's going to be the one that's in trouble for the moment, but RNG, they want to continue to take the team fight. The Cards has got the second lap to work with, though. They're going to try and bring him down the ones. Can they set themselves up for round 2? Although he's going to look to jump in the middle. Karkat's going to go for the chain control, but they won't get the combo before the BKB. It's Rasa holding inside. Arna's going to be able to cut through the trees and dealing the damage. Finally! They'll kill off the Cards. Arna will turn to Sacred as well. The first real big fight we've seen come out from RNG, and that was in to the second Roche advantage.
And it's right next to their base. That's the big difference, Baker, right? They were able to get in onto the back lines, and most importantly, Matthew gets initiated on. Matthew is the one that takes a lot of the damage, and Viper finally starts to have that impact. It's actually a pretty decent combination once you are able to right-click with this Viper. He hasn't gone for the level 20 talent on the left side on Viper, but Viper Strike DPS, of course, paired together with the Aghanim Scepter is really important. But just look at that magic resistance. It says deduction instead of reduction in the tooltip for poison attack. It does a lot, especially when you consider that you've got this this Ana Juggernaut going into the magic build. Puck, of course, very magic oriented. Same sort of thing with the Tiny. So as long as you're able to start layering in those poison attacks, you're actually in a pretty good spot to take some of these team fights. It's just such a rarity because of how well Thunder Awaken are playing in a lot of these
Radiant's middle
engagements.
tower is under attack.
Raph taking a bit of a dive though. That swing that we've got. T2 Tower could be under siege. Chalice is potentially going to get mid as well with the catapult, so a lot of map control going the way of RNG. This will give them the opportunity now to claim the outpost as well.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Alright.
Radiant's middle tower
Got almost
has fallen.
completed. So I'm just going the overwhelming blink. A little bit extra stats on close to the Manta style. Anything else that we've seen? Chalice is working on the Lotus Orb next.
So is X-Nova. It's just all about survivability. And again, you know, this is one thing that I've mentioned before about when you're playing up against an Enchantress. You often get very tempted to just ignore her because it's like, well, what's she going to do in a lot of these engagements? But X-Nova, Hurricane Pike, you can end up doing a fair amount. Doesn't unfortunately have the Fey Grenade to be able to make full usage out of the free attacks that you can get from massive range.
Nice read from RNG. They're able to back up, avoid the smoke. Now they're going to be the ones to look to take the fight. Towards the outpost they go. They've got the control at the moment. Radiant, they do have an incredible ward placed down though. Another ward as well towards the cliff. This is a great spot for Thunder Awaken to take this fight.
They saw the bounty get taken. They're pinging it.
smoke. Sacred's gonna be on the high ground. An eye shot at the nick of time. He doesn't get the ultimate off the This should be able to remain.
Answered as well, Thunder.
The bash is there. Can they get the control after the ultimate? He's gonna spawn towards the high ground. Meanwhile, Arna's in trouble. Cars is in with the damage. And with an Aegis block for getting rid of the juggernaut. Now they'll tilt to the rest of the components of RNG. As Somnus, he'll jaunt to the right, but instead they're gonna go for Chalice. The Spiderlings to try and survive towards the north, however. It looks like Karka's gonna be the easy kill. Stuck inside the Sprout, turned to a pig, and put 6 feet under. Still though, RNG, they are able to kill
kind of out of defensive.
They're gonna be cautious for the moment. Somnus is not nearby to be able to play with Chalice. No, guys, they can finally. Somnus has got the abilities back up. Even Chalice is going to buy back as well because he needs some members to be able to reach up, and no one is nearby to help them.
Titanic.
Just pop him against the world. Can he get the TPL? That's not the possibility. As Somnus is in, blows him up before the teleport, and RNG, the second team fight in a row where they've been able to come out on top.
Oh man, it was so chaotic, and it was a big investment coming through from him as well. Buyback coming through from the Viper, buyback on the Enchantress. It was really Somnus that time around. Mid-team fight, he actually finds the Stormcrafter, which just provides them with that little bit of extra damage, and also enabling him to get rid of some of the slows that get cast onto him. And, you know, even just dodging out things like the Poison Touch mid-air is such a useful tool to have.
And we see instantly the change as well with Arna's build. Lincoln's queued up. That Hex to start into the control afterwards was just too much of an issue, and Arna's recognizing he needs a way to protect himself.
Yeah, he wants to live. It's all well and good to be doing a ton of damage when you can fight, but if you just never fight, it's not going to happen.
Here we see 1, 7, and 8 for Arna. Maybe, oh, he's going to go BKB next instead. So actually wanting a little bit more magic immunity.
Gives you some damage as well, I suppose. Might be something that he still feels like is lacking, and maybe feeling a little bit more confident having picked up that Titan Sliver instead, with some of the status resistance coming through too.
With that kill though, or successful team fight I should say, they're going to be able to control the map now. Towards
damage
the
bot.
triangle. They're in a really good spot to take this fight. If they're able to get the DD back towards the triangle, powerful position to be able to take this skirmish.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want to be playing around. Roshan's going to be set to spawn in the next minute, perhaps minute to 4 minutes. And yeah, they just don't want to, I was about to say, relinquish control over their high ground, maybe just not feeling too confident considering they did have to expend those buybacks. So even then, buybacks are going to be up in about 6 minutes, and Roshan will absolutely have spawned by then.
What items are we closing with RNG? Because I'm honestly quite surprised they're not playing with those wards. An incredible position, because we've seen multiple times there's been Thunder actually with the division advantage throughout these fights, but RNG back up, get their items and look to reset. It's going to be Thunder that smoke first.
Closes Arna to a few of these items. Yeah, not really, but you did just finish a Lincoln Sphere on X-Nova, I believe, so he's going to look to give that one over to Arna's Juggernaut. Also, a little bit of extra HP. Again, it's all about just being able to do literally anything in these team fights, which he hasn't had the...
They're going to see Arna as well. Sacred's in with the stun. Arna's going to be playing with the set of capture. This time he's going to be able to get the blade 3 off. He's going to be cautious how long he sits around, because Prakash just TPs into the middle to take control.
Nice force. Omni. Hit the creeps. Rubik's Omniing him.
A stolen Omni from Matthew's going to do nothing. It's Arna protected with the blade 3, going back on towards the Rubik. They've successfully stored off this initial jump.
Arna's going to die.
They cancel the TP. Sacred's in with the bastions. Arna's out, but RNG don't stick around to still clean up this team fight. It's a die back to the Pango, and Arna, a well-deserved tip given over to Somnus. The puck was that X factor in that team fight.
Somnus is playing just godly so far this game. He is the one carrying RNG through a lot of these engagements. Clutch attempt again. Matthew just perhaps overestimating the damage that he's able to do as a Rubik onto that Juggernaut. But wow, getting a little bit lucky too is Thunder Awaken. No Roshan for the next minute and a half, and it really does feel like what I was talking about before, like this is a very easy game for the puck. And Green Core with Spell Prism.
Somnus. Hang on, a couple of these heroes don't have buyback. Dazzle, they're going to toss him away from Pandamoo. Alone doesn't have
Radiant's
buyback.
middle tower is
And
under
they see
attack.
Pandamoo as well.
Down 19,000 gold. They've got the lead here inside the base. And have a potential to close out this second game and take this series 2-0.
Oh, not again. It's already happened once today with EG against Team Spirit, but that one was with a Lone Druid. This is with a team that does not push that well. Chalice doesn't even have the... oh, he just got the Aghanim shard actually delivered on the courier. So he's going to have that minus armor for the towers as well. Buyback for
Radiant's
Prakaz.
middle tower is falling.
Forcing them back though.
Look at
It's just space
Somnus.
creation right now from Somnus.
Parkard's going to get the jump as well. They won't be playing with Mazu. He's got to buy back at least. The buildings are starting to fall. Chalice is getting the damage jacking up. And Somnus missions on space creation duty.
T4s are dead.
Kill the Rubik. T4s are down. Thorns exposed. It's on Prakaz to deal the damage. So
They've done it.
will not be able to keep them in this game. As RNG somehow, someway, come back in the second game. Down 19,000 gold. Only 9% probability. But they will take the series in fine fashion.
I agree, Dota 2. Somnus is godlike because that was such a great performance from him. Every single team fight past like the 15-20 minute mark was just on point for him, always being able to find that backline. And this was the main concern that I had. Eventually, he was going to get to this stage